Blitzburg EDC. Hope everybody's doing well out there. Nice, crisp, cool, windy day here. Enjoying it. Again, hope everybody's doing well. Thanks for tuning in. We don't know how long this is going to go or what I'm going to talk about it as far as I've got mine. This is my thoughts, my feelings. These are my knives. These were paid for and bought by myself. These are not given. So it's going to be my top 7 American-made folding knives. I've not included any fixed blades, any kind of American-made fixed blades, and/or things like out the fronts, because there's some great out the front options as far as Microtech. Kershaw has a great American-made out the front. These are just mine, guys, so just understand that. I'm not here to go back and forth or argue or leave nasty comments. It's just straight up what I enjoy. Again, these are mine. Top 7 USA-made, American-made folders. So let's take a look. Now, I got them all here, but we'll start talking about them real, move them around, see what we got going on just to get into it. Classic. Let's start with a couple classics right off the bat. How about that? Although they may all be classics if you think about it. We're looking at Strider SNG. Okay. Strider SNG. I think that's an MXG. I don't know that's not a Lynch Northwest clip. I think it's an MXG custom for this. Regular Strider SNG, the aluminum handles, nice and thick. Guys, this is a classic for a reason. I mean, there's a reason why SNGs are what they are. Did you hear that? This isn't like one of these kind of, I do it like that, like when I'm flipping it. I don't feel a Strider's even like that in a way. This is a basic, hard use, everyday folder. This could go out there and go with you. You are contracting, you are construction jobs. There's so many videos of how strong these knives are and how cool they are. And they're super popular. They're incredibly popular. They come in a ton of different blade steels. This one happens to be CPM 20CV. So a really good steel on this one. I got this straight from them years ago. This was, golly, right off their website. I think it was around 500 with shipping, maybe 525 after everything back in the day. Again, aluminum scales. Man, this is a classic. What else do you say about a Strider SNG, right? This is like, you want to go to war, man. You want to go to war with something. This is what you want to take with you, man. There's no doubt. Killer, right? Look at that blade. Beautiful. And that's just straight off them. That's straight from them. I remember getting that package. And here's a Microtech SOCOM Elite. Man. Now, guys, I'll tell you. Now, this is a big boy. Okay, the Strider SNG is kind of mid-size. When I say mid-size, what's it, 4.5 inches? The handle's 4.5. That's kind of mid-size, but compared to the, if you go from butt, yeah, it's a little bit more than 4.5. If you go from butt to butt, you could go about 4.75, but, it sticks out. So from here, it's 4.75. Now, the SOCOM Elite, 5 inches? Yeah, look, with the glass breaker, you're at 5.25 almost. 5 1/8. Yeah, about 5 1/8. But I'm not even at the tallest point here. That'd bring it to almost, 5 1/4. So Microtech SOCOM Elite. Man, if you've never played with one or haven't had the chance to, it's really worth your time. It's a big boy, though. It's no joke. I remember getting one the first time. This isn't my first. And look, you got that cool kind of open back spacer kind of tied together. This would make a great integral one day. Sorry, I'm blocking the light there. Microtech SOCOM Elite. Man, did you hear that? Now, this is the Tonto version. Hope you guys can see that. I've got 09-2023, serial number 15009, SOCOM Elite, USA. Man, there's a reason why these are so popular. There is. They're so smooth. They feel so, right here, this position. You're clamping down, so many different options. Come on, dude, do I got to tell you if it's sharp? M390. I think this was before the M390 MK. And it's great knife. Got the glass breaker back here. You want to pop something out. Feels good. Like I say, big handle, big knife, Microtech SOCOM Elite. Comes in a plethora of different, like, I mean, this is the Tonto. There's, drop point. You've got DLC coated. You've got serrated. Listen, this is a workhorse of a knife too. You understand, these are legendary, man. The Strider SNG and the Microtech SOCOM Elite are classics for a reason. And I'm going to keep that momentum going right now. We're going to take another one that I think is a legendary. Now, this is American made right here, folks. Spyderco Para 2. Paramilitary 2. I mean, talk about badass. Now, I get it. If somebody doesn't like, let's say, the red, the coloring. I think it's great. This was a DLT exclusive. I've had this for a while. No real date on it. But I love Golden, Colorado, USA Earth. Razor. It's a friggin' Razor. It's M390. I mean, if you don't have a paramilitary too, hey, listen, I get it. It's not small. I mean, what are we looking at? About probably 475. I want to think on the handle, right? Let's double check that. Make sure. Yep, 475 bingo. Blade size. We're looking at 3 1/4, and that's cutting. It's going to be 3 1/2, not cutting. 3 1/4 of actual use space. Guys, Paramilitary 2 by Spyderco. It's legendary, right? I mean, it's a legend. What really? I mean, you got the compression lock. It's super smooth, multiple openings. I mean, that's what she said. Let's see here. Spyderco Paramilitary 2, man. Yeah, you got to love it, man. This one happens to be dead center, which I know a lot aren't. I even kept this. If I'm in a heavy rotation and using it all the time, I put the deep pocket carry clip in there. But right now I'm rocking this. I don't mind it so much. It does stick out a little, but you can pop a little lanyard on there, and you're good to go. What else do you need to say about the Spyderco Paramilitary 2? Classic, man. Classic. Let's see where we're going to go. Another one. I mean, now this is the Chris Reeve 31 small Tonto Magna Cut blade. Now this is, listen to this. Oh, man. I mean, it's a Chris Reeve. It's a 31. I mean, come on, right? I mean, bead blasted, titanium, American made. You have quite a few options when it comes to them. Again, and with most. I mean, for Strider, I could have chosen SMF, or some people like a different version. They don't have to necessarily go with that, an SNG. That they're still American made. You've got, Microtech. I said there's many different American made Microtechs that are home runs. You've also got Spydercos. I could have went with many different ones. Some people prefer the size of, let's say, a Para 3 versus a Para 2. So this is just something I have and I love. Little tiny little bugger. Man, it's so, you just feel like there's not going to be an issue. Like, there's not a problem with this knife. If you've got a like lockup is so solid on a Chris Reeve, man. They're just incredible. Look at that. I mean, that is Magna Cut. And I think 63 to 64 on the Rockwell scale. On the hardness scale. God, that's so cool. Yeah. I mean, we haven't talked anything, guys, about prices or anything like that. And I get that. And pricing is what it is. Obviously I'm in no control of any of that. Chris Reeve makes this, you don't want to say it because it sounds kind of goofy saying this is the Apple of knives. It's ridiculous, right? I mean, what the hell does that even freaking mean? But you don't mind using it, but yet it's refined. It's beautiful. It's really well thought out. Every little bit about it. It's just, they're great. They're great, great, great products. I could have went with an Nums on. I could have went with a regular 31, but this is the really cool version that I really enjoy. Man, and it feels so great in your hand, and so cost-wise, I mean, what, 400, 4 1/4? It's worth it, I feel. And I mean, obviously I have one, so I'm not going to say it's not, but again, it's in the eye of the beholder. Let's go a little bit with the smaller ones on this level too. Again, this was just Blitzberg talking about the top 7 USA made folders. And again, this is my thought, guys. This is just my opinions. I recognize there are quite a few opinions, and I'd like them. Like, share, comment. Leave me your thoughts, man. I mean, am I full of shit? Is this stuff you're laughing at? You're thinking, nah, come on. What are you talking about? And tell me what you've got. And I know there's plenty. There's quite a few more than 7. Obviously, I don't have to overstate the obvious. There's quite a few out there. So tell me what you guys think, man. Leave me a message, like it. Again, leave me what you've got. What do you think beats any of these? All right, back at it. Going to stay on the smaller side. And this was a very cool surprise to me. Now, I don't know if you guys can see, because unfortunately I don't know that it's going to come out, because it's going to... Well, you see, the USA... That's actually like Spartan blades engraved in there. I mean, it's not just like a stamp. That's like engraved in there with their little symbol. I mean, that is cool. With the USA symbol, that's engraved. So this is the Spartan Harsay 3.25. So it's a smaller one. Oh, let me back that up. Sorry, I had to zoom in there. And as far as competition or anything goes to something on the smaller side, 3.25-inch blade, as far as the handle and stuff. And I didn't really measure the Chris Reeve, but they're on the smaller side, as far as that goes. Got a couple more to look at here. Again, top 7, American made. What do you guys think? The Chris Reeve's running about 4 inches. About 4 inches on the button. The Spartan Harsay folder is 4 inches as well. I mean, it's dead on with it. It's dead on. And guys, I did have a bigger version of the Harsay folder. They are great knives, man. You talk about knives that rock. I mean, this is a great little knife. Now, the action's a little different than, let's say, a Sebenza. It's different. Sebenza 31, when you break them in and you get them nice and smooth and they have that kind of glass kind of feeling. This has the glass feeling opening up and flips right open. It's super smooth, and it's really, I've got it to a great point. And I mean, I just cleaned it. I didn't do much else. It's on washers. Again, this is that comes in so many different options. They're known for their anodizations. This is the plain Jane, just titanium pocket clip. It's not a deep pocket carry clip, but it's a really cool, really nice pocket clip. And it carries great, man. I have carried this. This disappears. There are literally times where I decide I don't know which one to take, because I'm like, these are great little tiny folders. American made by veterans. As is the Strider. I don't know if Tony Marfione doesn't talk about it. I don't know that he is. But this is great. It feels so nice in your hand, guys. S45VN, and they do some kind of treatment to it. I did strop it a couple times, and it came right back, just freaking like a razor. Oh, man. Gotta love that. So yeah, this is the Spartan Harsay folder in the 3.25 edition. Check them out, Spartan Harsay. It's at SpartanBlades.com. Very cool. That's sweet, man. This is a great underrated American-made knife, man. If you never had one, it's very similar. I think price-wise, you're probably going to pay around $400, I think, give or take. I know that's about $425, maybe more nowadays. I'm not sure what the 31 goes for this small. The Strider can be probably $500 for the SNG. I want to say this is about $335-ish for the Microtech. And there's so many variations, guys. And the same with the Spartan Harsay here. There's so many different variations that they start at this price. Maybe $325 they might start at, but then they go up. And the same with the Chris Reeve Sebenza. I mean, there's so many. Spyderco Para 2, you know how many there are? There's so many. There's so many exclusives. American made, America. I got 2 left, and these are not in any specific order. They were just sitting here, so I don't want you to think that these are my favorites. So Les George is one of my favorite American makers, and this is his MK3 model. He could have went with an ESV or a VCP, because he just brings it. Guys, let me just explain it. I have a video if you want to watch it. I'd appreciate that, and I appreciate a like as well. Les George MK3, American made. This is a manual folder, This happens to be in Magna Cut. I don't know if you just picked up on that. Here's what Les George does that is just spectacular. And it's been that way for a long time, guys. I've followed him for a long time. I almost go back 12, 14 years, I think. And you see this? Nowadays, if I gave somebody that, only has experienced bearing knives in their life, maybe somebody in their mid-20s and they've just been exposed to some things on bearings, let's say. They never had any kind of washers on knives before. And that's not uncommon. I know people like that. They've never had knives on washers. They stay away from that because they've only had bearing knives. But you give them this knife, they cannot tell that this is not on bearings. MK3, Les George, georgeknives.net, I think. I'll leave it in the bottom there. Look at this. I mean, all day, guys. And it's a cool ode to the past with this. I mean, this isn't a cool looking knife, right? Guys, what do you think? I mean, that's pretty cool. If you've never seen it, man, check out Les George, man. Don't miss out. I mean, he's a veteran. You really want to check it out, man. And they are freaking razors. Freaking, what did they say in that movie, Austin Powers? Freaking laser beams. They are freaking laser beams, man. And this is another one you'd feel super comfortable going to battle with. I mean, listen to that. Get that lock up, man. This feels so great in the hand. Great piece. Great job on this one. Top 7, right? What do we got? That's 6. Number 7 in no order. So this is not 7. This is just the 7th one we're looking at. Now this is a Medford Knife and Tool Slim Midi Marauder. And again, these are all my own personal ones. This, I think, is probably the most expensive in the bunch. This was a DLT exclusive. S90V Tonto. When I got it, I had them resharpen it. It didn't have much of an edge. There was a situation, I think, at Medford at the time, but it's since been corrected, and it's insanely friggin' sharp now. Friggin' thing is wicked. Gorgeous knife, man. This is a great carry knife. Sometimes I wonder what would be different if the clip was a little bit different. It carries great, though. I mean, I've carried it. I used it. Great piece. Medford Slim Midi Marauder S90V. I mean, super comfortable. If you've never checked out the Midi Marauder, the Slim Midi, I'm sorry. The Midi Marauder is pretty cool, too, if you never checked that one out. That's another sick knife. But this is a great, look how slim it is, man. It's like 0.12 as far as the blade goes. For a Medford, I mean, my God, man, that's not normal. It feels great. It feels like a Medford. That's kind of weird, right? But, here it's a little bit, I mean, it's comfortable. But I'm a knife guy, so I'm not going to tell you it's not comfortable. But I'll tell you that, I mean, it feels a little boxy. It feels boxy compared to something certainly compared to the Les George, which is kind of rounded and feels different. God, look at the cool that freaking looks, man. It looks cool in front of the American flag, doesn't it, man? Fuck yeah. Made by a veteran. It's fucking cool. Hope you guys appreciate that, man. I do. Thank you. My dad's a veteran. My grandfather's a veteran. Awesome. Boom. But yeah, let me get off this one because I could play with that all day. Top 7 American-made knives, guys. What do you think, man? Medford, look at that, man. Look at that. Yeah, he did a great edge on this one. I don't think he personally put the edge on. I'm not saying that. But man, that is wow, it's fire. Fire. I like to keep fire on it. I'll strop them. If it ever got so bad that it got out of control, I'm not like the one. I would have no problem sending it right back. They do a great job, man. They'll fix it right, get it right back to you in a couple of days. They do an awesome job over there. If you've never used Medford in a customer service, I find it, I've never had a problem myself. And that's just me speaking, man. I'm not out here reading the inner blogs or whatever they got out there in the interwebs. So, quick summary here, guys. Thank you so much for sticking around. This is fun. This is cool, man. These are top 7 American-made folders in my humble little opinion. Please, tell me what's going on. Tell me I'm wrong. And again, remember what I said. It's my opinion. They're American-made, though. So, there'll be other top 10 lists or top 5 lists that don't contain, American-made onlys. This is just And again, these are mine. This is not paid. I don't think Greg Mefford's ever going to watch a video or anybody like that. But I do think that it's worth your time and it's fun to talk about, fun to get into. Slim MIDI, Medford Knife and Tool, about a 600 and something dollar knife. Chris Reeve, classic, man. It's a 31. Sebenza 31 small Tonto. Want to say, we'll say 450, could possibly be 425. Strider SNG, that's the 20 CV. Not that I don't think that has to do with the cost sometimes. I guess though, if it was Magna Cut, it'd probably be more because that seems to get the most dollar these days. What do you guys think about Magna Cut as far as the blade steel goes for pocket knives? I think it's good. I don't have a problem, but I also didn't really have a problem with S35VN because that thing is wicked. You get good S35VN that's really heat treated well. That's what I'm talking about. That stuff is fire. But here we are. You've also got the Microtech SOCOM Elite. That's coming in about 335-ish. Beast of a folder, man. That you don't mess around with, man. That is fantastic. Paramilitary 2. I mean, what do you have to say about the Spyderco Paramilitary 2? I mean, I just picked up the Military 2. Did a review on that as well, or a kind of overview walkthrough. There's plenty of reviews on that. Nothing else to say about that monster. Les George MK3. Worth your time, man. Check out Les George if you haven't, man. He's really worth your time. Great guy as well. Spartan Harsafe folder. That's the small version, 3.25. It comes in so many different options. I definitely recommend checking out Spartan Blades if you don't. They're really big into fixed blades. That'll be another one down the road. Top 5 American-made fixed blades, or top 5 American-made automatics. Tell me what you guys want to see. What do you guys think, man? Leave me a comment, like, share. Again, it's Blitzburg EDC. Thanks again, man. Means the world that you guys are watching these and leaving me some feedback and some comments. It's just me talking about my stuff, man. Again, not sponsored. Just enjoy. I like to talk about what I like. Thanks again, guys. Take care and stay healthy out there. Stay sharp as well.